It's episode 2 of the DCAU Rewatch, and I am once again joined by Exit over here,
Yo, what's up?
and Arcanine.
Spider-Man. What is it? Oh, hi.
Gonna get copyrighted.
And we watched the next 2 episodes of Batman the Animated Series, Nothing to Fear and The Last Laugh. So first up is Nothing to Fear, and by the title you can probably tell it's a Scarecrow episode, and the basic plot of the episode is Scarecrow wants revenge on this institution that he got kicked out of for, experimenting on students, and he's Professor of Fear, so he's testing their phobias and stuff. Okay, that's the basic premise of this episode. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Connor, what do you think?
Oh, me? Oh boy, this episode. It was pretty good. It was definitely an interesting take on a Scarecrow. Like, it was very cartoony the way they portrayed him. Like, it wasn't, it didn't look like a man who was wearing a Scarecrow mask when he was in the Scarecrow kind of outfit. It just looked like a Scarecrow, which is pretty cool. Like, it just had that kind of figure about it. But yeah, we got that iconic Batman line.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in the night. That was pretty cool.
Probably the most
I
iconic
am
line in the
vengeance.
entire series.
I
Yeah.
am the knight.
Did you think it was kind of
am
weird that it's in this
Batman.
episode?
I don't know where I expected it to be because I never knew it was from this. I just knew it was a Batman line, and I never knew if it was from the comics first or it was from this first. But it was I was kind of expecting it because remember you mentioned something that an iconic line would be in the show. So when it came up, I was like, oh, okay, well that's the right line he was talking about. But it did surprise me at first because wow, that's an interesting place to put the line.
Yeah, because this isn't really an episode people talk about, but everyone remembers that line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an enjoyable episode. I liked a lot about it. It was cool that this is kind of, in the series we've seen so far, this is Bruce Wayne's first real challenge, I find, because he has to deal with his father, thinking that he's not good enough, all that kind of stuff, and just the fear toxin in general is always something that Batman kind of has to deal with. It's always something that is one of his biggest things to get over.
Yeah, and this was his first introduction to it because Scarecrow isn't an established villain yet. This was his
Yeah,
first
exactly.
appearance
Yeah,
in
it was his
Gotham.
first robbery. Yeah.
And his
I kinda
design
like-
changes, by the way, Connor. He doesn't look like this in future episodes.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of
He
weird.
doesn't have the teardrop mask.
Yeah, I was like,
I don't like that, man.
it works for animated, but it's a very odd decision.
Yeah, I thought the design was fine except for the face.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's something. Yeah, the face was it was a bit weird.
Yeah, that'll change in the next Scarecrow episode.
All right, cool.
Okay, Everest, what do you think?
I think this is just a good episode. I don't think it's a great episode, but I do really like the stuff with Bruce dealing with his father, thinking he's not good enough and the fear toxin and everything. I did find it a little funny how everybody else's fear is just oh, spiders and the dark and basic stuff, and then Bruce is just my father didn't think I was good enough. Oh man, he's ashamed of me. Dang it. And but overall, he had to get over that. I liked that, and it allowed us to have that line, which is arguably the most iconic Batman line of all time. I would say arguably. And Scarecrow, I wasn't a huge fan of this design, but I do think he works as a villain for this episode. I think they did a pretty solid job at establishing him and everything and bringing him into Gotham. And I like how in this series we have established villains and then we get to meet new villains as the series goes along. So I thought that was very cool. Some fun little action scenes in here and stuff. So overall, besides the line, it's not one that I'll remember, but I would watch it again, and it's a good episode that, it's not incredibly great, but it's definitely not a bad episode.
Yeah, it's definitely not as memorable as a lot of the episodes of the show, but it's a pretty good watch. It's an enjoyable watch. And like the past 2 episodes had, you see Batman's detective side. They're really nailing that.
Oh crap, I forgot to mention that when he's trying to figure out where the chemical, which factory in that.
Yeah, they're really doing a
Scarecrow's
good
from.
job of incorporating his detective skills into these episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And also Alfred being a father figure to Bruce. When he's dealing with Thomas, and he's like, I know he'd be proud of you because I'm so proud of you.
Because I'm
Yeah,
so
that
proud of you.
That almost
hit
made me tear up, man.
That hit me. That was so good. Like, I'm so proud of you, so he would be.
Alfred and Bruce is always like a relationship in animated and live action that it gets done so well. Like, I don't think there's a bad Bruce and Alfred.
And when Alfred really like displays that fatherness towards him, like, oh, it makes me want to tear up, man. So the way Batman ends up defeating Scarecrow is he tracks him down to his lab, Crane Chemicals, and he like doses Scarecrow with his own fear toxin, and then Crane sees him as a giant bat-like creature. Like, it looks nothing like Man-Bat did. It looks like kind of gargoyle-ish.
Like, Man-Bat looked a little... I don't think he's scary. He just kind of looks a little bit disgusting. Whereas
he just looks like a bat. Batman looked like a freaking bat monster.
Yeah, he actually looked scary in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all the fear hallucinations were pretty cool in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Connor, letter grade, what would you give it?
I'd give it a B minus.
Okay.
It was good. Wasn't great.
Okay.
What about you, Everest?
I would give it a B minus, but just the I am the Knight, I am Batman line bumps it up to a B for me.
Yeah, I completely agree. B for me.
Oh, making me look like the hater.
Just because of that line. And
yeah, I know. It's so good.
Alright, so moving on to the next episode, The Last Laugh. And the basic premise of this episode is it's April Fool's Day, laughing gas is getting spread all around. Well, you don't know it's laughing gas at the beginning, but everyone starts laughing. And cuts back to Wayne Manor, and Bruce is like, this looks like the Joker. Like, not shit. And Alfred's playing April Fool's pranks on Bruce. He's like, I drew you a bath. And he shows him a picture of a bath. And Bruce says, all serious, he's like, very funny, Alfred. I'll take a shower.
Yeah.
So then he goes, stops the Joker, and that's the basic premise of this episode. Okay, let's talk about it. So Everest, what do you think?
I think this is like a fine episode. Like, I'm not gonna like hate rewatching it or anything, but compared to a lot more of the Joker episodes and even just the series as a whole, I think this is a weaker episode. That doesn't mean it's bad, but I think it's kind of a very simple storyline, and some stuff gets a little bit wacky, which I guess is fitting for April Fools, but between like the laughing gas and then the clown robot thing, Captain Clown, and for some reason the animation looks kind of weird in this episode to me. I wasn't really a fan, like when we get these close-up shots of the people and everything, but at the same time I like the stuff with Alfred, and honestly, it kind of freaked me out when Alfred was going crazy with the laughing gas and everything. I was like, oh, dang. And then I love the arc with Bruce from being like, no time for fun, Alfred. How dare you tell me a joke? To making his own April Fool's joke at the end. And, the Joker is the Joker in this, so I like him. But overall, I just think it's nothing special of an episode. Obviously, you have the Joker's iconic laughing gas, and plotline, I feel like if I saw it for the first time, it would have been a little cooler, but now it's been done in literally everything, so it's just like, oh yeah, laughing gas, and I think it's a fine episode.
Yeah, when Alfred was breaking everything, I was just like, man, I really hope he's not breaking anything, like any pictures of Bruce's parents or anything.
Yeah.
Okay, Connor, what do you think?
I'll be completely honest. I didn't really like this episode, like not really at all. They didn't really handle the tone shifts very well. Going between jokes and the serious bits. I was like, they would be making a joke one second, then it's serious next. I'm like, come on, be a little bit more subtle about it. I guess I didn't expect really not like a Joker episode, but I guess here we are. But yeah, it was all right. There was, I wouldn't even say it's all right. I just didn't like it.
Okay, so this felt like an episode that would have been, like, if it was going to be a Joker episode, it felt like it should have been the introduction episode, but like coming in production order, coming off Christmas with the Joker, it just feels weird. It's a lot weaker than that episode, and just compared to a lot of Joker episodes in this show, it's a weak episode.
Yeah,
but like it's a weak Batman the Animated Series episode. Overall, it's still a good episode of like animation compared to a lot of other shows. It's really good. But Batman the Animated Series is just that great. You guys both failed to mention Captain Clown, though. That is without a doubt the most memorable thing from this episode.
No, I like
you killed Captain Clown.
Oh my god!
Batman's a murderer.
Killed a robot. Wait, the Avengers are like massive.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Didn't he take the two thugs, like the two Joker thugs? Didn't he take their masks off and expose them to the laughing gas?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Didn't.
It's kind of brutal.
Dang Batman. You could have
like
just
Red
knocked him
Hood
out.
Yeah.
You didn't have to expose them to the gas.
Bro, if they stay under that for long enough, they can be permanently insane.
Something I really liked about the episode, though, was when Joker puts Batman in the canister thing or whatever and starts poking holes in it and sinks him to the bottom, how Batman just presses the button to call his Batboat over.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's really cliche now, but, like, in 1992, I'm not sure if that was cliche, because, you know, we've seen it in basically everything now. Almost every Batman animated show has something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, if this was going to be an episode, it really felt like it should have been the Joker's introduction, but it was the second in production order. In an air date order, it was third, so I have no idea. And he gets defeated the exact same way he did in Christmas with the Joker, but instead of, like, tripping on a roller skate, he trips over a wire.
Yeah, that's another reason I didn't like it. It makes Joker look incompetent.
Yeah, see, that's why I didn't mention it last week, because I knew he got defeated that way in this episode too, but I didn't want to spoil it for you, Connor.
I forgot too, so.
And I think it makes more sense here because he trips over like a wire and he's like running from Batman, so he's kind of scared, but like last episode he was running from Batman too, but he wasn't like terrified.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so Everest, letter grade.
I'm gonna go with a C+ on this one. I think it's a fine episode, and it's a weaker Batman the Animated Series episode, I would say.
Well, I'm gonna give it a C+ too. And Connor?
Brayden!
Connor, what would you give it?
D-.
Okay, yeah, I figured you're ending on a negative note.
Sorry.
Well, let's make it... Okay, well, next week, the two episodes we'll be talking about are Pretty Poison and The Underdwellers.
Guessing Poison Ivy and... I have no idea what Underdwellers could be.
I forgot what the Underdwellers is. Holy, wait.
Oh, I remember it pretty well, so...
Oh, wait, okay, yeah.
We'll see you next week talking about those two episodes.
Oh, yeah.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.